Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be working on find missing observations. And in this one you have observations of n by m 6-sided dice rolls with each face numbered from 1 to 6. And n of the observations went missing and you only have the observations of m rolls. Fortunately, you've also calculated the average value of these rolls. And you're given an array of rolls of length m where the number is the value of the observation. You're also given mean and n. Return an array length n containing the missing observations, such as the average of n and m rolls as mean. And if there's multiple answers, return any one of them. And if there's nothing, return the empty array. And the average of a set of k numbers is the sum of the numbers divided by k. Mean is also an integer, so the sum should be divisible by m and n. So it's kind of a weird explanation, so let's just kind of like explain it in a simpler way. So basically we have two sets of rolls. We have known rolls and we have unknown rolls. And the number of known rolls is this thing here. And the number of unknown rolls is n. And the mean of all of the rolls combined is this mean value. And then you're basically asked, okay, give me some unknown rolls that if the mean of the known rolls and the unknown rolls adds up to this exactly. So that's kind of what they mean. So basically here we have 4 rolls and we have 2 unknown rolls. And we're asked to get 2 values for those such as the mean is 4. And so for the mean, if we have 6 rolls with a mean of 4, our total for our known rolls plus unknown rolls needs to be 24. Right? So this needs to be 24. And this total here is 12. So we have 12, we need 12 more, and we only have 2 rolls, so the rolls have to be 6 and 6. And then, yeah, so basically this total needs to be the mean divided by the total rolls. Or times the total rolls, I guess, is another way to think of it. Okay, so here we have 3 rolls, and we have a mean of 3. So if we do the same thing, so if we add up all the known rolls, we get 12, and the mean is 3, and there are 7 rolls total. So we need an extra 3 times 7 is 21, and so 12 plus some number needs to be 21, so we need an extra 9, right? So the extra bit we need is 9. And then we can get any combination that adds up to 9 that has 4 rolls, and this is one of them. So 2, 2, 2, 3, we can also do like 1, 1, 1, 6, and a bunch of other stuff, and any one of those would be valid. And in the last example, so we have 4 known rolls, 4 unknown rolls, and a mean of 6. So we have 8 total rolls with a mean of 6, which is 48. And we have 4 unknown rolls, and this total here is 10. So we need another 38 in 4 rolls, and you can't really do that, right? Because the most you can have is 6. So first of all, let's just think of like let's move this down. Let's just think of some conditions where this is not possible, right? Like we have this thing, this equation. Let's just think of some conditions where this is not possible. So we can figure out what we need our unknown roll total to be, right? Because we have our known rolls. This is just this is just like the sum of the array. This is the thing we're solving for, the unknown rolls. We have the mean and we have the total rolls, which is just the length of the array plus n. So we can write this down. So this known rolls is sum of the array plus x is the mean, which we have, plus length of array. Yeah, so this is length of array times, or plus n. Right, so we could solve for x, and x is like the value that we need. And so x is the value we need, and we know n, so we're trying to get some like x value in n rolls. So what values of x wouldn't be possible? Well, the smallest number we can get in n rolls is 1 times n, right? So if n is bigger than x, then we can't get it. Like if we're trying to get a number 5 and we have like 6 rolls, the smallest number we can get is basically just 6, right? So if n is greater than x, then invalid. And then also the biggest value we can get is 6 for every roll. So if n times 6 is less than x, also invalid. Right, so like in this case, we were trying to get 38 in 4 rolls. Well, if we have 4 rolls, we can only get 24. So we can check for these two cases. So for these two, just return empty array. Right. And then we have some other ones. So the other ones is basically you have a valid state, but now how do you return this? Like let's say we wanted x to be 20 and we have like 4 rolls. Well, there's multiple ways to do it, right? One of them is we could do like 5, 5, 5, 5. We could also do like 6, 6, 4, 4, you know, and some other stuff. We could do like 5, 5, 6, 4, you know, a bunch of other stuff. As long as this adds up to 20 and it's 4 rolls, it's fine. So we just need one valid way to do this. And so the way to figure out one valid way to do this is, so this is kind of a problem of you're dividing two numbers and we can just make our solutions as close as possible, and that's going to guarantee a valid result. And so we can calculate two things. We can calculate the value that we have for every single roll, and then we can calculate the extra region that we can distribute. And so the value is just going to be x divided by the rolls you have. And it's going to be a floor divide. So in this case, we can just give everything a value of 5. And the extra region will be x mod the rolls we have. So in this case, it's going to be 0. So in this case, we can just say, we can just have 5, 5, 5, 5. That's going to work. But let's say x was 20 or some other number. Let's say we had like 6 rolls and we want a number of like 15 or something. Or let's say we want a number, not 15, let's say we want a number of 23. So in this case, our value, we're going to give everything a base value of 3. And then the extra is 5, right? So if we did 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, this would be 18, and then we have 5 to distribute throughout the rest. So basically we have 5 that we can distribute, and the easiest way to distribute everything and not make anything go over is just anytime you have things to distribute, just give it to the next number. So basically we'll say like we have extra here, so we'll put 1 here, then 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 we'll put 1 here. And that will distribute it equally. So that's essentially the algorithm, is we can get the value, the base value that we need, and then the extra we can just go number by number and just check, do we still have extra? If we do, let's just give our number an additional 1. And that's going to guarantee that we get a valid result, basically. So hopefully that makes sense, essentially. And this is like how you do all these calculations. So we can first calculate our unknown rolls because we have these 3 variables. Then once we calculate our unknown rolls, we know exactly like what our unknown roll total needs to be. And then we can figure out, can we even get it? And if we can get it, then it's going to be this thing. So if this is the unknown row total, or unknown roll total, this is how many rolls you have. This is the 2 things you need. And this is pretty common in questions like, given some value, distributed it so everything is as close to each other as possible. You can use this kind of thing. This is like used in some other problems. But basically this will always give you a guaranteed result, and it'll always make sure that you don't have anything too big. Because if you were to do something of like, I guess alternatively what you could do, actually, if you want to, instead of doing this extra 1, you could just say like, okay, I have some extra, let me just give every number as much as possible, so that would work as well. So if I have an extra 5, I can just be like, well, this can take an extra 3, and then this can take an extra 2, so this also works. So either one, so you can either go 1 to everything until you run out, or just as much as possible to each one. And your extra is guaranteed to be less than the length of your array because it's a mod, right? So if extra was like, extra can't be 6 because something mod 6 can't be 6, it has to be less than 6. So if we're modding by the length of the array, extra has to be less than this, so we can just give 1 to all of them. But hopefully that makes sense, so that's all we're going to do. So let's code that. Okay, so let's first calculate our known roll total, which is this thing. So we're just going to say it's 0 and go through the array and add everything up. So rolls known, misspelled it. Known roll total that. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to get our mean roll total. So the mean roll total is this thing right here, mean times total rolls. So mean roll total equals mean, and then the total rolls is n plus rolls length. And now we need to get our, this part right here, which is the unknown roll total. Or n roll total, we can call it. N roll total, or n total, I guess. And I guess we'll just do it this way. And this is going to be the mean roll total minus the known roll total. Okay, so now we can check if it's too big or too small. So if if n is greater than this number, then it's invalid. And if n times 6 is less than this number, it's also invalid. So if n roll total is less than n, or n total is greater than 6 times n, we can't get it, so we just return an empty array. Okay. Now we're going to get the value in the extra region. So the value is going to be the n roll total floor divided by n, and the extra will be n roll total on n. And we'll make a result array of length n. Now we can just loop. So we'll say result is the base value plus, so we have this many extra things. So if I is less than extra, then we're still going to have numbers to distribute. So like if extra is 5, then we can distribute to numbers 0 through 4. So we can say if I is less than extra, we have one more we can distribute. So we'll just give it 1, otherwise we'll give it 0. Or like I said, you can give the max to get the first number and the second number and so on until you're out of extra numbers. Either one's fine. And then we can return. Okay. Okay, let's see the errors. Cannot find symbol n total, so this is n roll total. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. Just a little bit of basic math to know that like I can get a total from a mean and the number of rolls, and then from that I can figure out like what my values are, just basically using the formula that like mean times the number of rolls is the total value. And so yeah, so this is going to be, okay, so we're going through all the rolls. So this is like rolls length, and then that's nothing. And then we're also going through n because result is length n. So this is like rolls length plus n. Okay. And then space. So this is constant, constant, everything is just constant. And then we do have a result, but that's what we're returning, so that doesn't count. Yeah, and I think that's going to be it for this one. So hopefully this is helpful. If it was, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.